Hello everybody, Biplanes here. Now before we go too deep in this video, I wanted to give a shout out to my patrons over there on Patreon. Now I did add quite a few of you from the month of March, so those of you who have had your payments go through have had your names added to the list. So thank you to everybody who's supporting the channel over there on Patreon, and I'll leave a link in the description below. So this video here is all about what is coming next, because as you can see here, I have these two planes on the table. These are the 727 and 737. Now obviously, as of the time of recording of this video, I still need to do a little bit more work back here with the 727, get the engines in and do a bit more smoothing. So you can see I'm still missing like a part right here. I'm doing all that. So this thing is almost complete. I should have the parts for that coming within the next couple days here. So maybe in a few days I'll have that video coming out with pretty much complete for the 727, and of course the 737 is pretty much the same. It's always sort of been the same over there. That was completed a little bit while back, but I've gotten a lot of comments saying, do 777, do A380, do a Concorde, do this, do that, do this, do that, and wow, have there been a lot of suggestions on what to do, and I would love to do all of them. That's just the thing. I can't do all of them. That's impossible for me to, but I would love to do all of them. So yeah, who actually gets done here? So I've made a bit of a decision for my next plane. You guys are going to be very surprised at it. Now, some of you who are following me on Flickr already probably know what it is. And it's not a civilian aircraft, I can tell you that for sure. Some of you are not going to like it, but it is something that I need to get done by the summer, so you're going to have to deal with it. But past this next plane, which I will give you, and it's military, but past that, what am I going to do in the civilian space? Because a lot of you want me to build stuff like the A380 and Concorde, and I've actually sort of been thinking about this for a while. And something that I thought about with the A380 is how massive that thing is. And the reason I am not going to build an A380 as my next civilian aircraft is because I just have nowhere to put it. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't build it, because once I'm able to get down the modularity aspect of these things, I can pretty much build anything that's large, so because I can just store it, you know? But I am not to that point yet where I can build things to the point where I can break them down. And especially a plane as large as the A380, it's going to have parts of it that can't break down as easily. So once I figure out how to make my planes break down, then I will go ahead and do an A380. But what else am I thinking about? So I have two ideas for civilian passenger planes that I will build after this military plane, which I will announce in an upcoming video. The first idea is sort of an obvious one. I think I've announced this many times before, is I'm considering doing a 707 in the Pan Am livery. Now, this is nothing new. I'm probably eventually going to build this anyway, just to complete the 700 line. I mean, I had the idea of making the entire Boeing 700 line of aircraft until I saw how big the 777 was and how boring the 767 was. 757 is actually an interesting aircraft, but yeah, I'm not really sure I want to do that. But the 707 is definitely an interesting plane, and I'll look into building it. It's the same fuselage and nose design as these two planes right here, so, you know, it should go pretty fast. But the other plane I was considering doing, and this might excite a lot of you, later this year is a Concorde. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Now, I'm not going to do this immediately. It'll probably be towards the end of summer and towards the end of the year, because that's when the lug bulk order comes in. About the time when I'll consider doing a space shuttle, because I put a bunch of parts on the lug order, a bunch of metallic silver parts and a bunch of white parts that will make it much easier for me to build, and much cheaper actually, to build large passenger planes, because these things aren't cheap, as you probably know. Any of you who have tried to buy a Lego set know that Lego is not cheap. So I did put a lug order in through a lug bulk order in through my lug, and hopefully that should get here towards the end of this year, and I can make much bigger planes a lot cheaper. So that's what I'm thinking for passenger planes. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see. I'm not going to do an A380 immediately for certain reasons, but I am considering a Concorde and a 707. So that's all for this video. It's a very quick video, and again, thank you to my Patreon supporters over there on Patreon. You guys are really helping these things get built. So that's all I really have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and that's it for now. Bye for now.